find the weakness, do the job, and get out! Get out while you still can! Lift is a Netflix original directed by F. Gary Gray, who's done Set It Off, A Man Apart, Priceline Negotiator, oh wait, that's The Negotiator, Law-Abiding Citizen, that certainly had an interesting concept and was a lot of fun despite the fact it made no goddamn sense, but Gerard Butler and Jamie Foxx, that was a power-packed duo I didn't know I needed in a movie, if only they were in something just a little bit better. This, however, is not about Law-Abiding Citizen. Also, F. Gary Gray has done numerous music videos. Check out his IMDb page for the full list of his work, including music videos for artists that nobody should ever praise ever again. Let's just say it didn't take a whiz to figure out that one of the artists was into number one, or doing number one on somebody, but you get it, you get it, you get it. He also did Straight Outta Compton and then went straight into Men in Black International, i.e. the Men in Black film that nobody fucking asked for. And this was written by the guy that did 12 Rounds. Remember that John Cena WWE film that was about as well written and well acted and well performed at the box office as The Marine? Yeah, 12 Rounds. 12 Rounds. He hasn't done much else since. And is writing again any goddamn better, because we got Lift. Am I tipping my hands to how I felt about Lift already? Because there's lots of Lift jokes. And speaking of lifts, somebody could have used lifts, like Kevin Hart's Cyrus. Because Kevin Hart is half as funny as he thinks he is. He's also half the height of a normal human being. I have never found Kevin Hart to be particularly hilarious. That being said, when he's with a good ensemble cast, and not relied on to be the sole focus, sometimes he can be beneficial. That film with The Rock that he did, Central Intelligence, I think, yeah, he was the center of the shortness, and the intelligence came from The Rock. So, you do also have Sam Worthington in this, who I'm very happy he actually has a very, well-packed career, like as far as like films, and he's done a lot of really, really good stuff, because if you read up how he got the job with, on Avatar and how his career has grown since then, that man was really struggling to make ends meet. I'm just glad he's doing well. Vincent D'Onofrio is also in this. And John Reno is in this. What did John Reno do? What did anybody on this set have? What did the studio executives have that, they held over John Reno's head to be in this? If you can't tell, I really didn't care for Lift, and I'll tell you why. Vern Gorman's in this. The guy that was in Pacific Rim. And the guy that was in Shortcomings. Jacob Batalon. He was in this briefly. He's the bald guy. Shortcomings is really good, by the way. Check that out. You also have a few very beautiful women. Ursula Cabrera. Holy hell, she's beautiful. Holy hell. There's Yeonji Kim, who apparently was a K-pop artist and also has done some acting. I say again, Jean Reno. What the fuck, Jean Reno? What the fuck? The Professional and so many other movies, and now that the Crimson Rivers. That is something that people should remember, or maybe it's Crimson Rivers. So yeah, Lift has to do with Kevin Hart leading a group of thieves to steal stuff, and then they get caught, evidently, and now they have to work with Interpol to clear their names by stealing $500 million worth of gold from a plane 40,000 feet in the air, as opposed to 40,000 feet in the ground, which is about where Lift deserves to be. In case you cannot figure it out because I'm being ever so subtle, I fucking hated this movie. I hated every goddamn bit of it. This was atrocious. This was incomprehensible, yet it somehow tried to be simplistic, but it also tried to, wind a whole bunch of stuff together as far as, double turns and triple turns and all this, and it was just a bunch of spy cliches and action stuff and everything, and I don't mind movies trying to be entertaining, but this reminded me of Heart of Stone, where people were just doing shit, and action scenes just occurred, and nobody was ever in any particular danger, and there were ideas that were thrown in, and then more ideas were thrown in, and we jumped to about 5 different locations within the first 11 minutes. I don't really understand why we're the location Olympics here, and this cost $100 million, and I'd like to know where it went, because I know where it didn't go, the fucking special effects, because the special effects were goddamn rotten. F. Gary Gray has done a whole lot of really good films. He also did The Fate of the Furious, he also did Be Cool, and he's done good stuff. He knows how to make a good movie. Set It Off, I need to go back and rewatch at some point, because I remember enjoying it, but God damn it, Netflix just throw a bunch of money at him and say, here, you've got cachet. Please direct this shitfest. Fine. $10 million, I'll do it. Not that I blame him. I'd direct something shit for $10 million. So, yeah, they go from Venice, they go to London. There's this auction thing that basically goes totally tits up with a giant camera mask to create NFTs, which are scams, by the way. Just want to say that right now. Logan Paul's, into NFTs, because of course he fucking is, that goddamn douchebag. He's nowhere near this movie, thankfully. But yeah, we just get people people doing things that occur on film. I mean, really, people just do shit. Jean Reno has something to do with this plot to destroy parts of the world that we really don't. We get like one little brief thing of, again, Jean Reno, who is really, really good. And I thought the role he had in the Matthew Broderick starring Godzilla movie was too, beneath him. My goddamn goodness, that seems like Shakespeare compared to this shit. And I did note that, oh man, Mi-sun, that's the character's name, the K-pop artist. Oh, she's fucking beautiful. And then there's Jacob, who's got this artist stuff. He's got this mask and this NFT stuff and everything and whatever. It's all fucking bullshit and everything. But then you have Abby, played by Gugu Mbatha Raw. I'm sorry if I mispronounced her name. I really, really am sorry. She's lovely, and she has been in some stuff as well. And that's good. Let's find more actors, more work. Hopefully better than Lift. And it turns out her and Cyrus actually used to have a thing, maybe from a previous job. And now the idea is to steal all this gold from this plane. Yeah, the movie's shit. The movie is goddamn shit. The action sequences are terrible. There is a boat chase scene where stuff just occurs and there's this weird techie stuff going on. A lot of stuff happening in planes. The plan that they hatch is so incomprehensible and so stupid and relies on every sizable leap in logic being taken to the point you are in another solar system, which, yes, you can get away with in action movies if it's entertaining. This isn't. No witty lines are had. Everybody seemed like they were having a good time making this, and I hope so. Because I'll tell you what, I didn't have a good time watching it. And I can see, just before I cut this, I went to see what the critical scores and the audience scores were on Rotten Tomatoes and other sites. And I'll say this, they ain't nearly low enough. 30%, 31%, as of this recording, they need to be about 0 and 1. This is an abomination of a film. How dare you, Netflix? How fucking dare you do this? And I'm sorry, the writer either needs to, they need to just tell him to come up with less generic material, or they need to give him something to do in Hollywood that he's good at, because 12 rounds in this, I'm sorry. This isn't, unless he was literally told to write the worst movie possible, this is not good. This is not entertainment. This is not action-filled, at least good action-filled, and it relies on so many people just doing such cliched things. You don't care about any of these characters. There's no cohesion. There's no nothing. There's no camaraderie. There's no something where you would care if one of these characters lived or died in LAX, or if they decided to be drinking in LA, in this city, got their mind on their money and their money on their mind. Hey, yeah, just had to throw one random song. Anybody that remembers that goddamn song, let me know. If you can remember who the artist is without looking it up, I'm impressed. So, yeah, it's dog shit. This entire movie's dog shit. I'm going to get into spoilers. It's on Netflix if you want to check it out. And Kevin Hart continues to prove he's an unfunny son of a bitch. 3, 2, 1, and spoilers. Okay. So, after doing the auction thing and all the spinny stuff where there's an auction in London, an auction in Venice, and an auction in France, where we see everybody's underpants, thankfully no. They steal this artist, that the N8 guy. There's a lot of innate incompetence in this goddamn movie. I don't think it's nearly, harsh enough to call it innate incompetence. But that being said, they do this weird stuff with selling these NFTs for a lot of money, and they do that, but then they got caught somehow. And Sam Worthington's Huxley, who is clearly a bastard, the character, not Sam Worthington, he actually seems like a nice guy, tells Abby, I need more pudding. If you get that reference from MST3K, I love you guys. They then hatch this plan where Abby's going to go with Cyrus to try and steal this stuff from this plane. Earlier at this auction, there was this very, very rich guy, who has this private jet that's all custom made, and they trick it out after Abby basically says, well, I'm an Interpol agent. You just basically said you can't, this jet's illegal and all this, so there you go. Also, a funny line with Jacob, or at least an attempt at a funny line, where his stuff gets sold for a really high price, and it beat the Van Gogh sale, and he's like, I beat Van Gogh? Kind of wish I was like Van Gogh. Kind of wish this movie wasn't able to, kind of wish this movie, chopped both its goddamn ears off. Nevertheless, let's just get done with that. Horrible accent by Vincent D'Onofrio. Terrible. And Vincent D'Onofrio is a very good actor. I'm pretty certain I'm probably butchering his last name like I always do. I don't really care. I do have to say, again, the actress playing Abby, very lovely. Really does try. Kevin Hart. I mean, he's a little more dialed down here, which is funny for a guy that can't get on most carnival rides. But more bad accents. People are doing this. There's this guy, Jorgensen, who, once his goal, that's Jean Reno, by the way, just in case anybody didn't quite fucking get that. Jean Reno just exists just simply to collect a paycheck at this point. They trick out this jet, and there's more tension between Abby and Cyrus, because was Cyrus actually into her, or was he just into finishing the jobs, like find the weakness, do the job, and get out? And that's all about art and stealing from people that aren't going to miss it, robbing from the rich to feed to the poor, beleaguered idiots that decided to fund this damn thing. And the jet's got, tricked out stuff. It's even got LED boards underneath its, or on its undercarriage. I knew a girl like that. If you paid her enough, she would show. Well, anyway, they just end up tricking out this stuff. Their idea is to get this jet ready, fly undetected, with the special device that's going to make it impossible for this special jet from this Jorgensen guy to detect this. And then Ursula's character, Camilla, is going to fly there, and she's going to they're going to somehow collect this thing, because it's in a safe where this other guy is going to use this laser, to unleash the liquid magma. God, those movies are so goddamn old now. I was in my teens when the first one came out. Nevertheless, he's going to hack this thing with a laser, but it doesn't end up working. Oh no, everybody gets captured because of all this weird, bendy shit that's going on. And Abby pretends that Kevin Hart is banging her. It's like, just to make it seem like, oh, that's why they're spending so much time trying to fix this device that she dropped, because why the hell not? They end up, gunfights occur, stuff occurs, the jet ends up landing in the snow, in the mountains of Zurich, the mountains of Bush, as it were. At one point, the very pretty blonde stewardess takes a hell of a goddamn bump, down some stairs. And no, both jets don't crash. I'm not that lucky that every character in the movie would die. Character. Not the actors, just the characters. Because I don't want to watch this anymore. Why were the stars in this movie is what I wrote down. This is fucking dreadful. Jean Reno, what are you doing in this? And then, basically, the goons get everybody on the plane while the guy that was cutting through the laser, who I think his name was Marcus. I don't know. The characters don't fucking matter. None of them matters. None of this matters at the end of the day. Yeah, entertainment's one thing. This isn't entertaining. They then get on this private plane. There's this stealth paneling stuff that Camilla keeps spinning around to throw this off so the people can track her. Also, Huxley comes up with this bright idea to, the gold's in the plane? Well, let's shoot everything down. Let's call in these jets, and let's shoot everything down. Also, the crew has this guy, Harry in Brussels. Harry Brussels, yes, Manscaped would help with that, but not sponsored by that. Do they even still exist? Wait, there's a shaving mechanism or company called Harry's. That being said, enough, because I don't actually have any sponsorship with any of these people. What do I mean, these people? I mean sponsors. There's fights on the plane. These NATO jets are called in, but then they get called up because Camilla somehow manages to come up with a message after telling, me, son, hey, by the way, this is going on. Wait, Vincent D'Onofrio is saying, work your magic. Put this message up on these LED boards that she can hack from seemingly miles away. This is astonishingly dreadful and awful. How dare you, Netflix? They end up crashing the plane or the jet in Jean Reno's front yard. There's this very pretty brunette agent or dealer or something. I don't really know. She had a very undefined role, just like everything in this movie is undefined. Well, it's defined by shit. And then it turns out that basically this screen can be hacked by Mi Sung, as I said. They show footage after these police arrive that, oh no, Jean Reno is actually the cause of all this. What's causing all this? Jean Reno, I just said. And then Abby basically punches Huxley. Can she punch me like that next? I'd take it. And then she goes off with Kevin Hart and his group. Why? Why not? So they don't have the gold, except they do have the gold, because then it turned out that Marcus and everybody managed to dip some iron bars in gold paint, putting them in the same type of crate, put them on the plane, take the other one off, and send it through the goddamn mountains into the waters, where it's seemingly on parachutes, so it would float. It would stay below, but it would float, like it would stay down, but then again, it's a lake, so it probably didn't take that long. There was no Loch Ness Monster. He did not need about 350. And Abby's with him. They get the gold up, and yeah, that's it. So literally how they do it. All that stuff, by the way, about the iron bars and everything was revealed in the last few minutes. Eat shit, Lift. Eat shit. F. One of the worst movies of the goddamn year, and we're not even out of January. This came out 2 weeks ago, by the way, and I just got around to it. And fucking Christ, this movie broke me. Agree, disagree, what I said, like, share, subscribe, Twitter handle in the description. I'm John Ritlin. I'll see you soon.